Welcome to our Git tutorial for beginners. Uh, so basically today we will talk about Git. As you all know, Git is a version control system, and what it means, like it is the platform, it is the tool that allows developers to track their code, manage their code, and apart from that, it also provides a lot of things that a developer could use in their day-to-day life, and it is essential for software development, and it is used by many companies and organizations around the world. So in this tutorial we will see how exactly you can set up your Git account, how can you use it for your purpose, and how can you use it to like collaborate with other developers on your team and manage your code. So let's talk about Git and why it is important. So Git is a basically distributed version control system. When I say it is a distributed version control system, that means it would allow multiple developers, multiple collaborators to develop their code or develop their code simultaneously. They could make changes to same code base simultaneously. So that's the beauty of the distributed version control system. And since it is a version control system, it allows developers to track and manage the changes that have been made to code base over a period of time. At any moment of time, they could go back and they could like uh, get like previous version of their code. Yeah, and that are the thing that they could do. Uh, and thing is that apart from these two things, like means letting multiple collaborators to work on this thing and allowing developers to track the changes that have been made to code base, it also help developers to create the different versions of same code. So if I have to give you example, then let's say you want to build particular application. So in that situation, you would be like deploying that app in production over and over again, but that something would happen periodically. You might not want to do that thing daily. So in that situation, what you can do is like you can create main branch for production ready code. You can create second branch for development purpose, where you could do all the development, and then you would have like other branches where uh, you could do like means you can allow your team members to work on those branches. They could like do their changes to that thing, and they could merge those things back to development branch. So Git allows us to create different versions of our code, and that something can be done with the help of branches, which can be used for different purposes. For example, you can use branch for a new feature. You can use it to fix the bug. You can use it to just experiment with new ideas. You can use it to collaborate with a lot of uh, other developers. So these are the things that you can do. So now you know a little bit about Git. These are the three things that whether you should keep in mind. First, it is a distributed. It lets a lot of collaborators to work at a time on same code base. It let you track the changes that have been made to code base. And third thing, it would allow you to create different versions of your code so that you could do like experiment on that. So these are the three things that makes Git so beautiful and elegant to solve any problem or like to manage your code base. So now you know a little bit about Git. Let's dive into hands-on part of this tutorial. So it depends on what kind of operating system you are using for your system. So if you are using Windows, in that situation you need to go to browser and you need to download Git installer, and from that you could get like Git on your system. If you are using Mac, in that situation you can just go to your terminal and you can run command like brew install Git, and that something would install Git on your Mac system. If you are using Linux system the way I am using, what you can do, you can just go to like uh, command line, and over there you could just install Git sudo apt install. You need to provide your password, and that something would install Git on our system. In my case, I already installed it, so I really don't need to install it again. But in your case, if you haven't installed Git on your system, then using sudo apt install Git all, you could install Git on your system. The next thing, once you install Git on a system, once you install Git on your system, the next thing that you should do is you should configure your system for users of Git. And what it means is like you should tell Git like means who you are and what's your identity. So that's something you can do with this git config command, git config -h. This is something would tell you like means what all tool that you have to configure your system. So basically over here you need to like means tell what exactly means what's your identity, who you are, and all of that. So basically if you are like using Git for the first time, then you need to use git config -global user dot, and inside this double quotes you need to type your username. Then you need to also register your email address. In my case I'm not sure about what address I provided, so I will just check it with like, yeah, git config -list. You can check your username and email. So git config -global user dot email, and you could like add your email address over there. And you need to add that email address only, which is like easily accessible, and then you are like all set. Because later on, once you config Git on your local system, you also need to install Git on like means you also need to create account on GitHub. And in that situation you need to make sure the username that you have provided over here is same as that of your you are going to like add on that GitHub account, and this mail address should be similar. So for that you need to just go to GitHub, yeah, the way like this. Once you like you need to create your account, and then thing is that once you are like done with like installing Git, once you are done with like setting up Git on your configuring Git on your system, local system, and in GitHub, you would see like this sort of profile, okay, and over here you would see like all of this everything over here, okay. So now you need to know how exactly you can like manage your code. So to manage this code, so basically this GitHub would be called as like remote repository, and the thing that you are doing on your local system inside this workspace would be called as a local repository, okay. So basically you need to merge this, you need to make some connection between these two things. But first of all, let's try to make GitHub repository. Basically I'm creating repository in like remote environment, that is a GitHub, and I would call it like test1, and I will make it to be like, you can also add description over here. You can add like, you can make this repository public so that other could also access it, and you can create repository. Once this repository has been created, the next thing that you need to do is you need to copy this URL, and you need to paste it. I believe I might not be able to copy that thing from there, but anyway, that's not a problem. So thing is that like you need to copy that thing from there, okay. So now I'm inside Linux environment again, so I would just go to repositories, and I would search for test1. So here is a test1. It says like it has been created, so you need to copy it from here. Then you need to go to this environment. So this is your local environment. It's like local development environment. So this local development environment mainly consists of three things, okay. So it consists of working directory. Now until this point I have not created any like local git environment on my system. Okay, means I have not initiated any repository on my system. So to initiate that repository, what you can do is like you can create a directory inside your workspace. So first of all, I would create one directory by name test1. Now you need to navigate inside that repository. Once you are inside that repository, I listed all the files that are there inside that repository, and now that repository is empty. My test1 directory is empty. Okay, so now means whenever you have to develop any project, so you would create directory like test1, and inside that, first of all you need to navigate inside that directory, and once you are in there, what you need to do, you need to initiate your git repository over there. Okay, so you can do that thing using this git init command. So this is something saying like it has initialized empty git repository over there. Okay, so if you do ls, you would not see any file over there, but if you do ls -a, you would see like there is one folder called .git, and that .git folder is something would keep track of all the changes that have been that would be made like to that particular directory. So basically that's like git init command. That something would like initialize git repository inside that directory. The next thing, let's say I add like one file over here, touch a.txt. Now thing is like I have made the changes. When you are like talking about local environment, so these are the three things: working directory, so test1 is my working directory. Second thing is like staging area. So if I just type like uh, git status now, so that something would tell me like status of my git environment over here. So it says like I'm on branch master, because by default every branch on in local environment would be master. You need to change that thing. Over here it says like no commits has been have been made until now, and it says like there is one untracked file. Okay, so first of all we need to tell git which file to track. Okay, and for that purpose we need to put this thing in a staging area. That's the second important thing inside like git environment. So how you can like stage in this area is like you can add like git add, and you can just type name of that file, or you can type git add and period. So period means like current environment, current directory. So all the files would be added over there, or you can just add like git add and file name a.txt. So if you now do git status, you would see like changes to be committed, means it says like this file is stage. Okay, and if you want to remove it, you can use this command git rm hyphen catch and file name to unstage. But for now this file is like staged, and means it's in a staging area. Now you need to commit it. When you commit it, at that time you are recording version of your code. Okay, so you need to make sure like this is a version that you want to commit to the git commit -m, and you can add like comment over here like initial commit. So now it says like means if you check status now, it would you would see like means it says like not on branch master, nothing to commit, and working tree is clean. Basically git maintain all these things in terms of like tree data structure, and that's the reason like or like kind of thing. So that's the reason it's saying like this tree is clean. uh so next thing is you have added this thing to local repository, but now you need to connect this thing to a remote repository that is being hosted on like GitHub. And to make this connection, what you need to first of all do is you need to like set up your branch as a main. Means just for my simplicity, I'm converting default branch and I'm renaming it to like main. So whatever branch you are on, if you write this command, that branch will be converted as a like default branch, git branch hyphen capital M man. So that way if you check git status now, you can see over here on branch main. So now main is like default branch. The next thing that you need to do, you need to add that remote repository to this local environment, git remote add, and you need to give some like placeholder for that url that you copied, okay, from github. So you need to right click and you need to paste, so the one that you copy from there, and you need to enter. So if you check, then like it will say like this remote environment has been added to this local environment of this local repository of git. Okay, so all the changes that you, once you push the changes to that remote repository, so now you have like added remote repository to your like local repository. But what you want to do now is like means whatever file that you committed, that's a.txt, you want to you want that thing to be visible in your like remote environment as well, to other like developers. So if you just go to this git means test one, you would see there is a nothing, okay, until this point. So what you can do is like means you can push that thing, okay. So but before yeah, git push hyphen u. So basically you are telling like git what's the upstream branch that you want to push to. So git push hyphen u origin, and origin is like placeholder as I mentioned. So this placeholder would like connect uh, or would direct this push to that particular repository only. And then you need to mention the branch name, okay, git push hyphen u origin main. So hyphen u is something you can use for first time. For later instances you can just use like git push origin main. So now you, now it will ask for like this thing username, then it would ask for like password. So you cannot really use your git password. Rather what you need to do, you need to go to your development environment, you need to go to the settings, then you need to go to developer settings, or here you will see option like personal access token, and you can click on like token classics, and you can click on generate new token. So basically you need to provide your password over here. So in my case I had earlier saved like one pass key over here, so that's something I will be using. So it would say like means I have pushed my code from my local repository to my remote repository, and now if I go to like this git repository, I would be able to hopefully see my code. So you can see like there is file called a.txt that has been like added 11 minutes ago. So yeah, that's when I push it to like local repository. So now those changes are like visible in this github account as well. Basically this is a remote repository. Okay, so this is how you would push your code to to a remote repository. So basically this is about like creating a file using first of all creating directory using that command, then you can initiate git repository inside that, then you can like stage your file using git add command, then you can commit it with git commit, and you can also add comment with after hyphen m. Then you need to tell like what is the default branch. There's using that git branch hyphen capital M main command. Then you need to connect your remote repository and local repositories together, and then you need to push your code using git push hyphen u origin main. Basically this is how you would push your code to like and then you need to provide your username and password, and that's how you would push your code from local repository to remote repository. So this is like one way process, and this is something would allow you to track your code over the period of time. So now if I create like second file, touch b.txt. If I do ls, I would see like there are two files. If I do git status, I would see like there is one file which is now on track, and there is one file which is like which is being tracked, that is a.txt. So if I make any changes to a.txt, that something would be visible over here, and that's something I can track using git difference command. So now let's add this file, git add b.txt, uh, git hyphen m second commit. You can add like whatever command that. Then if I can just push this thing, git push origin main, and this should work. While pasting it, you need to like use means you need to right click, and then you need to uh, choose paste option, and then you need to enter. So now my second commit has been like pushed to my main branch. So you can see this thing. If you refresh and if you see this thing, you see like both the files over here, a.txt and b.txt. Okay, so this is how you do it. Now let's say I want to create so basically let's consider main is like our production branch, and this is from means from that branch our code would be like deploying like in production environment. But we cannot do a regular development on that same branch. We need to create separate branch for that, and we will create that thing using git branch. Then I call that branch as like means development branch. So if I check like all the branches that are there using command git branch, you would see like there are two branches, and currently my pointer basically the point there is like head in case of the git. Okay, basically that is like a pointer that we regularly see in like programming environment, and this is pointing to this environment right now. Okay, and then there is so it is saying like there are two branches, main branch and development branch. So now you want to go to like development branch. So basically when you create branch, from whatever branch you are creating that new branch, so all that code would be like by default copy to that branch. Okay, so if you want to move from one branch to another branch, you can use like this command git checkout and branch name, and it says like now you've been like moved to like development branch. So but thing is that if you want to avoid, if you want to combine these two command together, then you can simply just use like git checkout uh, hyphen b and then branch name. Okay, so we will see that thing. Okay, so this is the development branch, and let's say I create some file over here. Okay, uh, instead of doing this thing, let's create one more branch as I mentioned. So we will not be doing development directly on a development branch. Rather what we will be doing, we will be like creating one more branch by our name, and we would be, or for one particular feature, and we would be like working on that thing. As I mentioned, I can like create one more branch for means team member or myself, and I would be doing like changes over there. So if I use git checkout hyphen b mayur command, then it would create new branch by name Mayur, and it will like switch to that branch. So now you can see like three branches over there, and I'm now on Mayur branch. Okay, so if I type like c.txt, and if I type like git status, it would see there is like one untracked file. So if I add c.txt, if I commit this thing, so we are now on like Mayur branch, and we want to commit this new file over here. Okay, so we can again like write like it's like third commit. You can like add like descriptive information over there, like so that others would understand like what's that commit about, just for like sake of simplicity, and just to let you understand how exactly these things are being done. I am adding it like means first commit, second commit, third commit, something like that. Then now you want to push this thing to like that Mayur branch. So what you can do is like git push origin, and you can add like git push origin Mayur. So now you need to change like branch name, because we want to push this code to Mayur. Okay, my actionist, you want to paste it over here. So if you push like code to like any new, I means any branch other than default branch, then it would show you like means do you want to create pull request for Mayur on. Basically this is how you can ask like means moderator of like main branch or like development branch to check your code. Okay. um, and like means this is way you can create like pull request from here. Okay. So for that purpose what you can do is like you can click on this thing. You need to right click on this thing, open link, and you it will like check difference between compare Mayur with and then it would say like okay, we are able to uh, I want to create pull request. I don't want to. There are like a lot of other things as well. That's something you can do. So it's now, yeah, now I have created like pull request. So if I go to like means since I am the one who's moderating main branch as well, I would see like pull request over here, and over here I could see that the request that has been raised. Okay. So I can like open that thing and I can see that thing, and I can also add comment over there, and I can merge this thing. Okay. So merge pull request, confirm the merge. You can also add comment. Okay. And yeah, pull request has been successfully merged with main branch. Okay. Now if you go to like this test branch means to this test repository, you would see like there are just two branches. Okay, main and like Mayur branch. You will not see development branch over there. Okay. And the reason for that is like, and on this Mayur branch you would see like all these three comments, uh, and you would see like this main branch. This branch is one commit behind main branch because recently we merged this thing with like main branch, so we need to update that as well. Okay. To Okay, so now we are like in local repository again. So to make sure, if I do like git status again, it will show me okay, I'm on Mayur branch. Now I want to like make my Mayur branch up to date with like main branch. So in that situation I can use command git rebase main. But before doing that, what I should be doing is like git pull origin Mayur. Okay, so I should be like pulling code that's there on like uh, my own branch. Then I should do like git rebase main. Okay. So it would like means uh it would like update my branch with like code that's there in like main branch, and then now I need to push again this thing to my branch. Okay, git branch git push origin, and now we'll let's move to like dev branch. So over here if you see like means you would be able to see like A and B over there, but if you haven't like pushed this thing until now to like remote repository. Okay, we haven't really pushed anything. Okay, now I have pull code from like main branch. I have pull code from like my main branch. What I can do is like I can push this thing to like my remote branch. Okay, git push origin dev. Okay, so if you go to like remote repository again, and if you see like this main branch, you would see like there are, so our main branch is like up to date. You can also protect that thing. We have like these three files over here. Then we have dev branch is I believe up to date with like our main branch, because we like pull all the code from main branch to development branch. and then this is like Mayur branch. I believe this branch, okay, this branch is one commit behind main. Okay, git commit behind main. So to make it up to date, what you can do is like git checkout to Mayur, git replace main, git push origin Mayur. Yeah, now this branch is up to date. But now what we want to do, we want to merge this main branch, Mayur branch with dev branch. Okay, git checkout dev branch. We can write like git merge Mayur. Okay, so, and if I want, I can also delete like this branch, Mayur branch. Means once we are done like working on that particular code, we could also delete that thing. Okay, but if you want to merge code from like your team members to your development branch, you can use this command git merge Mayur. Okay, they would create like pull request and then you would merge. You can use this thing from command line as well. So let's say if I create like some, let me go back to Mayur branch again. Let's say I want to create new file d.txt, and if I git add d.txt, and now if I say like git pull, if you see there is like one file that is uh, that is being like this is the file like that's being like staged, and if you want to unstage them, like we can use this command. But even if you, means if you're like facing some trouble, then in that situation you can just use like git dash command, and now if you do like this thing like git status, you would see like there is nothing to commit and all that stuff. And if you again like write git stash pop, it would again show you that option, do you want to restore that thing or what. And that way you could like restore. No, actually I don't want to restore, rather I want to commit that thing. And now I want to push it to push origin Mayur. username, my passkey, and I need to check out to like dev branch now. If I git pull origin dev git merge Mayur, so that I would be able to like get that .txt as well. Then I want to go check out to main branch. Okay, it's saying like it should pull code first. Now if I do git march dev, I would be able to like add that thing as well. Then git push, did I push origin main, not read from remote repository, origin does not appear to be a git repo. Oh, my mistake. If I do like git branch, I would be able to see like these 3 branches, and over here if I just I would see like up to date with main. You just need to make sure like your branch is up to date or not, and which branch is your default branch. So over here also you would see like this thing and dual branch, because I merged this thing, so I need to make sure like pull request has been. I believe I directly merged that thing from you to main, or maybe I did not push this thing to when I was on like dev branch. I believe I did not. Yeah, over here I push it to like main branch. I should have like push it to dev branch. That's the reason I'm behind. Git push origin dev. If you do git log, then you'll be able to see like all the previous commit that you made since the beginning, like second commit, third commit means this is when you create a pull request and all that thing. So this is something you could see. And if you want to go back to like any previous commit, if let's say I want to go back to like the second commit, you can like type git reset. I cannot copy this thing with this. I need to copy this thing with like git right click and then copy, and then right click and then paste. So I would be able to go back to like second commit. I believe I'm on the dev branch anyway. But yeah, this is all about git.